Hi dear students, how are you? I hope that you are fine. Today we are going to have another main theme in Arms and Demand to discuss how Bernard Shaw presents it thematically and technically. Actually, this is a new lecture by Dr. Marwa Ghazi Mohammed, and it is directed for the fourth stage College English Department, College of Education for Women in the University of Baghdad. What do we have about love in arms and demand? Anti-romantic comedy. Pay attention that the word anti has been written between two brackets as if it is an optional. We will come to it. Why we put it as if it is an optional? Actually, because the first time the play has been published and performed, it was called Arms and the Man, romantic comedy. This is the way Bernard Shaw presented. And most of the audience accept it as a comedy, as a romantic comedy. But when critics start, reading the play, they find that actually Bernard Shaw was attacking the romantic ideas. He is against romanticism. So they start writing, asking him to label it as anti-romantic. And this is what has been done. So Arms and the Man is anti-romantic because Shaw has attacked the romantic idealization of life. And it is a comedy because he has exposed and ridiculed the hollowness of romantic love and heroic ideals of war. By romanticism, Shaw means that all is not based on fact and reality. This is how he believes. All shams and false conventions are romantic, since they are far away from reality, for they are not based on facts. Their futility and absurd nature can be easily confirmed. Shaw laughs, but his laughter has a serious intention, and this is what he did in Arms and the Man. So he presented this play, Arms and the Man. Actually, it is an anti-romantic play within what? With a romantic frame. That's why he called it at the beginning as a romantic, because the atmosphere is a romantic. We begin with a romantic setting. There is a romantic love. This is the romantic frame. But the content, the body of the play, it is against this frame. Let's see how he did it. Love in Arms and the Man. How did Shaw present the theme of love in the play? One of the main themes that Shaw's play arguably addresses is how people tend to idealize and romanticize love. This is, one of the things that he argues, that people, whenever we mention the word love, so they are going to, equal love with romance, or they are looking at love as an ideal emotions and perfect thing far away from reality. This is one thing. The other way to put it is that there is a theory of love, and then there is love in the actual real world, romantic love versus real love. So he is doing what here, Bernard Shaw, in presenting the play? First of all, he is presenting, we have theory of love. The theory of love, it means by, making the comparison between romantic love and real love. And the other thing that he is arguing the way people idealize love. So he is arguing this, of course, through characters. Romantic love, or let's say theory of love. What do we have? When we want to talk about romantic love, as I have mentioned, the whole play begins, it begins with a romantic setting. The opening scene is a romantic setting. And it is based on what? In theory, Raina worships the object of her love, who is supposed to be Sergius. She keeps a picture of Sergius in her room. And through the setting and the direction of the stage Actually, the portrait of Sergius itself is an indication that she is in love with the idea of love, that Raina is in love not with the Sergius, because she keeps a large portrait of Sergius not beside her bed, but on the chest drawer. So the portrait by itself shows two things. It shows that she is not in love with Sergius, and it shows that she is a romantic lady and she is in love with the idea of love. She is praising Sergius by calling him my hero, my hero. This is what she says to the portrait. You know, when Catherine came to her room, you know, telling her about the news of the Coverley charge, and that Sergius is the hero of the hour, and she starts blaming her for postponing the marriage, or keeping, you know, and delaying the engagement. Here, when her mother left, she held the portrait and she starts calling him my hero, my hero. Again, this is not, you know, the main basis for love. A woman, she is not going to marry a man because he is a hero, but she is supposed to marry a man because she loves him. However, she calls the stranger chocolate cream soldier. Here is the irony. Here how, you know, Bernard Shaw starts to present his plot, the plot about, you know, love. You know, he presents romantic love, and at the same time he starts to do what? Shatters, it breaks them, the image of romantic love. In what way? Because from the very beginning, the time she is calling Sergius my hero, keeping a big portrait in her room, it is the same time that she saves the fugitive in her room, and at the end of the act she calls him my chocolate cream soldier. A woman would not label someone, you know, with daring titles unless she has a certain kind of admiration for him. And later on, we would know that when Raina and her mother, they gave him Petkov's coat, we know what? We know that Raina, she put her portrait and write at the back of her photo, to my cream soldier, to my chocolate cream soldier souvenir. This was done when she gave him the coat, and we knew about this fact in Act 3. Her action when she did such a thing, it is an action of admiration and love. How come a woman who is already in love with her hero would do such an action? It means actually she was not in love with Sergius, and the moment she found the real love, she started acting according to her true feelings. Let's go to the other part, Sergius. Sergius, on the other hand, worships her, and he calls her my queen, my goddess. This is the way he calls her. You know, the first time we see Sergius in Act 2, he calls her my queen, my goddess, and he considers her as a very ideal one, as a perfect, you know, perfect, that she is unable to lie or to do anything bad. This is the way he sees her, as a goddess. And again, this is far away from real life. In real life, all the human beings, they have their own flaws, their own mistakes. No one is perfect. And when two people are in love, it means that they know each other, and they are, let's say, tolerable with each other's faults, or with each other flaws. But here we see, you know, Sergius, he doesn't see her in this way. And at the same time, Sergius, he did what? He flirts with Luca, as he needs relief of what he regards higher love. You know, the moment Raina left him, the moment he went to Luca, flirting with her, telling her what does she know about, asking her, about what does she know about higher love. And then he starts explaining by telling that it is a very tiring thing, and the relief for him is to be with Luca. Actually, he is, you know, the true self. He found his true self with Luca. Why is this? This is the question. Why is this? Why Raina is in love with the wrong person, and why Sergius is in love with the wrong person, and actually both of them are not in love within each other? This is the influence of Pushkin's poetry and the opera they used to attend. Again, so it is the influence of what? The influence of fiction, of literature on them. The influence of what they have read, but not the influence of real life. Not the influence of what they really experience. It is the influence of something that they never have in real life. And Raina herself tells her mother that one of the reasons that she keeps postponing was she has her doubts that both of them, she and Sergius, are under the influence or the impact of fiction and the operas they used to attend in Bucharest. What else? Misconception of ideal love. Now we come to the misconception of ideal love. How do we know that we have misconception? We say that Bernard Shaw, he did what? He make a frame, a romantic frame, and this romantic frame actually begins from the romantic opening setting. It is in, Raina bedroom, and the atmosphere is very nice, and we have a balcony, and in the balcony we have a young, beautiful lady who is, and she is what? She knows very well that she is part of the romantic scene. This is the frame. And we have also what causes the misconception of ideal love? What causes this? What causes people to think that they are in love and it is not real love, or to have these ideas, wrong ideas about ideal love? It is the legend of the medieval knight. The medieval knight dedicated his life to his beloved and fought his whole life against injustice and evildoers. Both of them, Raina and Sergius, are affected by this legend. When he was in war, he felt and he acted as a knight out of fiction, out of a novel, out of a scene in an opera. And this is what he told her in Act 2. He told her all my actions, that he was inspired by her. Exactly as, as a scene or as a tale in the medieval legend. He felt that he is the knight and Raina is his lady whom he is supposed to sacrifice his life for. Both of them, they did what? They glorify each other and are blind to the faults of each other. She calls him my hero, he calls her my queen, my goddess, and they are totally blind. She is unable to believe that Sergius, that his actions in war was not an action of a real, of a professional soldier, of what he did was not, was not the right thing. When Blanche starts explaining to her, making fun of him, she felt angry and she felt offended, because she was unable to believe that Sergius' actions was not the right actions. Why? Because she sees him in a very perfect and ideal image. The same with Sergius, who didn't believe Luca when she told him that maybe Raina might look out of her window and see them. And he told her that a lady like her would never do such an action, and a lady would never lie. And we know very well that Raina lied more than one time, within the same day. Bernard Shaw proves that the higher love between Raina and Sergius is tinged with sentiment and deceit. It is a kind of love that, or let's say the higher love, that what they call it love, because it was not love. It was accompanied by, deceit and sentiment. Both of them, they were deceiving each other, and they were deceiving themselves at the same time. Raina, she was deceiving herself by, trying to convince herself that she is in love with Sergius, but at the same time, she is able to call this stranger my chocolate cream soldier. And at the same time, Sergius is doing the same. He considers her his higher love, and at the same time he flirts with Luca. He is able to tell all his secrets, whatever he thinks of, to Luca, not to Raina. So we have the kind of deception, double deception, because we have self-deception and deceiving each other. What else? Real love. Now we come to the way Bernard Shaw presents real love. Coming in contact with Bluntschli, Raina could realize that her love for Sergius is nothing but an illusion. She doesn't find Sergius fit for her, as his character is full of incongruities and contrarieties. This is what she felt, The moment she, have a contact with Bluntschli, she admires him. In spite of the fact that, Sergius is what? Sergius is superior to Bluntschli in the physical appearance, in the character. Sergius, he is very handsome, and he has a very strong charisma affecting the other people. But this was not the most important thing, and this is what Bernard Shaw wants to say, that appearances is not important in real love. That's why when she starts to have a contact with Bluntschli, she found that actually this is the real love. This is the one that she wants, and all the events in the play shows that she wants Bluntschli, and that her love to Sergius was an illusion. Raina is amazed. She's amazed by Bluntschli's practicality, wisdom, determination, and strong personality. This is what attracts her in the Bluntschli, and this is, it starts, love, real love starts by admiration, attractiveness, and then matures to be love. Sergius, at the same time, is free and comfortable with Luca only. He doesn't feel, he is not free, or he is not the real one in front of Raina. Both of them, they put on mask, and this is what Luca knows. She tells him that I know the way you put on in front of each other. They put on other faces when they are in front of each other, but his real face is with whom? Is with Luca, the one that he feels relief with, the one that he can admit to her that he has many characters and he doesn't know he is which one of them, the one that he tells her that he is a coward, and hypocritic. These things he would never say it to Raina, but he say it to Luca. Sergius wants a type of love that is compatible with a practical life, so he rejects Raina and accepts Luca as his wife. When he reaches a moment, to be true to himself, to realize what he really wants, he really wants Luca, because this is a long journey. It's not, if he cannot stand one meeting, few minutes of meeting with Raina, how come he is going to continue with her? With Luca, he is able to stand, not to stand, but to continue all the time with her. So he prefers Luca. Shaw presents that real love has standards different from what people usually thought to be the ones. This is what Bernard Shaw is presenting, that real love has the standards different from people what used to think, because most of the people, they have their conceptions which are actually illusion or misconceptions taken from novels, from fiction, from literature, from operas, all of these things, not from real life. And sometimes even, society has its own standards, just like class. And the marriage between Luca and Sergius is a break for the theme of classicism. Here we have what? We have quotations that shows the misconception of love, and quotation that shows real love, actually romantic love versus real love. Oh, you are a very poor soldier, a chocolate cream soldier. This is Raina talking to Bluntschli, labeling her as a chocolate cream soldier, and we say to title him with a daring thing to her, and she is the only one who calls him in this. This is an action of love, and this is the beginning of their real love. Dearest, all my deeds have been yours. You inspired me. I have gone through the war like a knight. in a tournament with his lady, looking down on him. This is Sergius talking to Raina in Act 2. Again, this is, shows the influence of, the legend of the knight. Both of them are affected by this legend, or by the image of the knight in the medieval times, which shows, of course, the misconception of love. Which of the six of me is the real man? That's the question that torments me. One of them is a hero, another a buffoon, another a humbug, another perhaps a bit of a blackguard, and one at least is a coward. This is Sergius talking to Luca, admitting, telling her things that puzzle him, things that he wouldn't say to anyone, as if he is talking to himself. Pay attention, as if he is talking to himself. So he found his, the other part of his soul. He found it with Luca. He didn't say this quotation with Raina, and did it intentionally here to show us that this is the real love. That when someone, he is able to say what puzzles him, what his inner feelings and thoughts, it cannot be said to anyone. You would said it to the one that you love. Why he didn't say it to Raina? Because he doesn't love her, simply. Do you know what higher love is? A very fatiguing thing to keep up for any length of time. Luca, one feels the need for some relief after it. This is Sergius in Act 2. So here, when he was describing higher love as a very tiring thing that he cannot stand for a long time. And that's why he needs a relief. This is the way he was justifying, to himself that he is flirting with Luca. But actually, Luca knows very well from the very beginning that he is in love with her. That's why she was very clever, intelligent, and she was able to push him to the stage that he admits his love and proposes for marriage. When you get into that noble attitude and speak in that thrilling voice, I admire you. But I find it impossible to believe a single word you say. This is Bluntschli in Act 3 talking to Raina. Telling her what? Telling her that he knows very well when she lies, when she is acting. But because she takes a certain pose and her voice becomes thrilling, so he tells her that he knows very well when she put in this attitude. But at the same time, he would never believe it. So as if he is telling her that he knows that she has her own faults and he knows when she is lying. But this is not important. The most important that in all the cases he admires her. And this is the real love, that each one knows the flaws of the other and accepts it. This is, this is the right love. Because one of the basic of it is, the truth, to see the truth, and, tolerance, endurance, respect, and all of these things. This is the way Bernard Shaw presented his own conception or his own convention of what he believes to be real love. That's all for this lecture, and thank you a lot for your listening.